Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to do something pretty awesome. We're going to make homemade mead. Mead is an old recipe from years and years and years ago where they ferment honey with a little bit of yeast. You can add things like strawberries, you can add cloves, you can add cinnamon sticks, you can add all kinds of stuff to make this awesome, delicious drink. Got a couple batches under my belt, so this is a tried and true recipe, and we're going to go ahead and make it today.
Sounds good.
Alright, first off, we got a couple bottles of water here, almost a gallon each, and then we got about 2.5 pounds of honey that's going to go in each bottle, so 5 pounds total. A couple raisins, some cloves, we have strawberries, we're going to add one to this side, and then we're going to do cinnamon and orange on this side. Alright, so here we go. First off, we're going to grab a bowl, and we're going to empty a little bit of water out of here because we're going to have about 2.5 pounds of honey in each one, and then we're going to put strawberries and oranges in the other side. You want to make sure that you dump more water out than you think you're going to use, because if you don't, you're going to start pouring this honey in and it's going to overflow, and then you're going to have to dump honey water out. So make sure you dump about 1/4 of the water out so you have enough room for the honey. I'm going to go with half. And half of our water. Save this so you can top off your water back when you finish putting in your honey. Alright, we're going to dump this entire bottle of honey in here. Alright, now we're going to add a little bit more honey. Those were 2 pounds each, so we're going to about add a 1/2 pound of this. So that's about 1/4. Okay, for this one, we're going to add 1 cinnamon stick, 1 orange, 1 whole clove, and about 5 or 6 raisins. Cut this orange up into about 8 pieces. I use blood oranges because they're really flavorful. There, 8 pieces. One cinnamon stick. And 1 clove. You can add more than 1 clove if you want, but these things are really strong, and if you add too many, it'll be too much. It'll be spicy. Okay, now that I got all these in here, I'm going to put this lid on and I'm going to shake it up real good until I can get this honey to dissolve just a little bit in here. While I do that. Alright. For this one, I'm going to add a package of strawberries and a cinnamon stick. So I have these frozen strawberries that were packed in 2012. They've been in the freezer and they've thawed just a little bit. Should I add both? Both bags or just one bag? I think one bag's fine.
I think one bag's fine.
Now we'll add one cinnamon stick. We're going to cap it up, shake it again. Okay, now we got these all shook up pretty good. The honey's well blended. We're going to add a couple raisins to each one. The point of these raisins is to give the yeast a little bit of nutrient to help kick in that honey. I have a package of active dry wine yeast. This will help ferment it out a little bit dry. I'm going to split this in half and put half in each one of these. Cheers. So make sure that when you put this together and you have all of your ingredients put in here, that you leave room which is called head space. If you don't, once it starts fermenting and bubbling up, it'll explode out the top and you'll have a big old mess on your hands. Honey's really sticky and it's hard to clean up once it's been dried, or if it ends up on your ceiling. Right. You have two choices. You can use an airlock. We're avid home brewers, so we have this stuff on hand, or you could just take a balloon, cover the top of it, and poke a hole in the balloon. Once it starts fermenting, the balloon will fill up with air, and the air will leak out the top, but won't allow oxygen or air to get back in. This will help keep from infection or something along those lines, getting bugs in there that you do not want to have in your drink. So since we're going to use this, we're going to drill little holes in the top of this, shove our airlocks in, and put this in a nice, cool, dry place for it to ferment for 2 months. And there you have it. For just about $25, you can do 2 bottles of mead, make and mix flavors and do something really nice. Once this is done fermenting, we'll do an update in about a month to show you where it's at. We'll wait until the fruit sinks all the way down to the bottom. It'll clear up, and then we'll put it in a couple wine bottles and set it on the refrigerator. Open it up and drink some mead. If you like this video, just go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. There's going to be more to come. Thanks. This is the next morning, about 9 hours after we initially poured the yeast into the mead. This is what you should see is an active fermentation where there's bubbles coming up. That's the carbon dioxide being produced from the yeast. And on the top, the airlocks are working pretty well. Everything's fermenting. We'll give you another update in about 2 months after the fermentation process is done and the mead's cleared up real nice and all the fruit settled down to the bottom. We'll transfer it to some wine bottles and put them in the refrigerator.